Okay, so the next couple of streams are going to be this, just so you know. I'm going to be covering skills on the casual stream, next one tomorrow. Thursday, I'm going to be covering Cyberpunk. Very popular tabletop role-playing game. I'm going to talk about the video game. I'm talking about the tabletop role-playing game Cyberpunk, of course. That's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you guys are looking forward to all that stuff. It's going to be great. So after I dropped the idea of doing interviews because of a lot of drama that was going on, I had people just get at me for doing them because they like the interviews I've done. They want to see me do more. So after my supporters really pushed me, and I heard a lot of kind words just from people a little outside of that, I was like, you want to know what? That's the type of stuff that sways me to change my mind, right? That's the approach you need to take to change my mind. So I said, okay, I want to prove the point, because every time people are courteous to me, they see the change, right? It's like even in debates, man. You want to know how you really floor me when you're right and you got a point to prove? Do it with class. You destroy me. Yeah, absolutely. Because I'll be the first. I'll be ashamed that I was aggressive in tone with you. Because I feel like it puts me in my place, and you're showing me a grown man. See, I've grown up with 7 uncles. Like, I really respect men, like military men and whatnot, that I've grown up around. So when people come up with class and they're not acting childish and they're making these statements, that's when I'm listening more, and I'm like, okay. I'm the type to be swayed by decency. It works on me, and I hope to show this in public, that people see me swayed in public by decency. I really am that way. So I made an effort to ask for some interviews. And the guy who made Axe, right? I asked him. He's open to an interview. We got to sort out day and time. I'm looking forward to that. I asked DM James. Now, he said he would do it. We haven't connected since he said yes, but I hope we can connect soon and start to figure out when that would be. That's a guy who has a long history in the game, and I think my questions would just get a lot of good stuff out of him. And he's comfortable with talking, so I figure, the combination of me asking the right questions and us taking a journey through his history right up until now would be really interesting. Would give you a different take on DM James, one that I think you would all find valuable. Right? Now, I asked another guy. I wasn't going to say anything, but I'll say his name now because I'm just, he's such a busy guy that it's really hard to work out a time and day with him. But I said I would, and so I will adjust. It might be evening. It might be a unique time of the day, like really early, like say evening, because he's over in Korea, which is his YouTube gimmick is Ruin Slinger. I've known the guy for many, many years. I watch his content. I appreciate what he does. He's such a different guy than a lot of people around the community that I usually interact with, the old school, that I just thought he'd be so interesting, because I'm covering a lot of games that are more in his mindset, what appealed to him. And I'm like, okay, well, if I'm going to talk about a lot of games like Traveler or like Pendragon, Ruin Slinger is a guy who really is in that mindset. He's not a Dungeons and Dragons guy. He likes a different style of gaming. And I figure with all the D&D focus I've done over the years, it's good to bring just other people in that have a different, view on what we do here. So those are the 3 people right now that I'm somewhat interacting with, trying to figure out these interviews, and have all told me that they're pretty much open to doing the interviews. We just haven't sorted out an exact time. But it's just me letting you guys know that yes, I have changed my mind, and this is the effort I'm making to contact and interact with people and make that happen. So I've asked these people, and so far a good interaction. There's some people that are just negative with me that I'm just going to let stay in the negative zone, and that's it. That's how life works, right? I'm not going to bother bugging people. And I've asked some people that I know they've seen the invite to do the interview, and they haven't reacted to me, and I'm not the type of guy that goes and asks like 50 times, right? or it has to be a long period of time between the last time I asked and the next time, because I don't want to hound people. These interviews are meant to be fun for the audience. I don't want to start drama over trying to get people to interview. And hey, I don't want to hear this like, man, you've already asked, I ignored you. Leave me the fuck alone. Like, look, dude, I'm a guy who can take the hint the first time. Okay, so let me talk about some other streams coming up in the near future that you'll probably want to check out, I hope. After Cyberpunk is going to be Earth Dawn. I know some people out there definitely want to check that out. After that, it's going to be Ruin Quest. Remember, all tabletop role-playing games, and I start from the old school era of these games, right? So just like Ruin Quest, Earth Dawn, Cyberpunk, the old school era. Then on the next casual one, like the one coming up with skills after that, it's going to be D&D, role-play, interaction. Right? It's going to be like doing actual interaction in the game and role-playing and what that means. Is that just role-play? Is there more to role-play? And just talk about that in a general sense, right? After that is going to be a unique one, Castle Falkenstein. I don't want to say too much. That one's just going to be an interesting one. These meant to be interesting. And then one that recently got some attention from some of the people I know, some of the other YouTubers, Alternity, late TSR game that was brought out when WotC already took over, but it's before WotC started putting all its stuff on the game, so they still have like the TSR tag, but it is during a time when WotC owned TSR, right? The early time. But Alternity. So since that got some attention, I'm going to cover it. Why not? I mean, if people are into it, cool. And then I'm going to cover something to do with superheroes. I like Heroes Unlimited from Palladium, but there's also a very popular game called Villains and Vigilantes. So I'm going to cover that after that. Then we get to another. I get all these scheduled. You got to understand, I'm just going over what I have already scheduled. There's much more than this after that I have planned, but I'm only going to go over what you can see that I already have scheduled on my YouTube channel. After that, it's going to be the casual again, and we're going to cover just Dungeons and Dragons encounters. In the general sense. Of course, I hit on a lot of D&D, but I'm opening up here with all these different games, so hey, I'm trying to serve a wide variety of people in the old school. And I'm not just counting Dungeons and Dragons as old school. That's what I want you to realize. I'm counting everyone who's old school as part of the package here that I'm doing content for. Okay, after that, it's going to be an out of order episode of Empire of the Petal Throne. Then it's going to be a very popular game, Call of Cthulhu. If you go to Japan, this game is usually more popular than Dungeons and Dragons. There's another casual talk coming up after that. I've not totally decided what that casual talk will be, but I do have one scheduled for there. And then I'm going to cover another out of order episode, Chivalry and Sorcery. After that, I'm going to cover Middle Earth role-playing. MERP, right? And then we're going to cover space opera. That should be a laugh, right? There's a lot of war gamers that do come to the tabletop role-playing game that use space opera as a way to make fun of people that want what they think is a type of sci-fi game they're not into, space opera. And then there's one that's really popular, one that I think mentioned GM Cody reminded me of this game. I've heard of it before, but he brought it up. I think it was him. Don't quote me. Sorry, GM Cody, if this is not something you mentioned to me. It's just, I don't know who mentioned it. Somebody mentioned it to me recently. Bushido. And then, here's the thing. So on my birthday, I'm going out to do some things, but it's going to be before the exact day of my birthday. So on the exact day of my birthday, I'm going to be here. And I decided, since it's a stream day, I'm going to do a stream. And I figured I'd pick a popular game that I wasn't going to cover right away, but I said, hey, it's my birthday. I don't want to cover just some random, maybe, game that's not too hyped. Well, here's a game I know a lot of people sort of know about, but want to know more about. Shadowrun, May 3rd, my birthday. I'll be 46 years of age and covering old school Shadowrun, the tabletop role-playing game. After that, we get another casual talk. Undecided exactly what it is, but I got it scheduled. And then we're going to do next after that, out of order, Gangbusters. Woo. Then we're going to cover the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles RPG. Then I'm going to cover Champions, another hero game. And then an interesting one, James Bond 007 RPG will follow that. And then Starship Troopers. This is a war game. So heads up, if you haven't heard already, I'm covering some wargaming from the old school because I did some wargaming, which may surprise some people. Don't know. A lot of my casual talks are sort of undecided, but I do have them scheduled. So the next is a casual talk. And then we're going to cover, I think it was Monkey or somebody said they were, one of my audience guys, said they were doing some spy stuff. I have a game covered after that, which is called Top Secret. Right? There you go. And then Car Wars, which is another war game. That's going to be good. After that, I'm going to cover Paranoia. And the next game after that will be Toon. That's a funny one. And then finally, the last one I got covered for May, the end of May. So I have everything covered up until the end of May. This May 31st, I'll be covering GURPS. A game a lot of people know. Sometime through May, I'll probably then post a bunch of this stuff. Because finally, I am a paying member of Restream. Yeah. See, I wasn't sure where I'd want to commit. I needed to see how that would work. I was going, should I go to StreamYard or should I stay with Restream? I decided StreamYard doesn't offer enough for the cost. And so I said, okay, you want to know what? I'll commit to Restream. So, Restream it is. I'm a paid member now. Woo! Good stuff. There we are. So that's my schedule there for streaming, and some of these could get bumped for interviews, like put on the back burner, which I will do them. They'll get scheduled later. But I have all these days covered, so interviews could be bumping some of these out. I hope you don't mind that. But I will go back and cover them if that happens, right? But it's just in case I don't get any interviews anytime soon, this is what I'm doing. And the whole point of this video is to tell you I'm focused on talking about games. Tabletop role-playing games. Not the rest of the stuff that you're seeing around, right? I can only ask reasonable people to come by and check me out. The rest, I can't control how people see things. That's up to you, right? I have done my best to deny things or whatever. So you take it in for what that is. I'm not going to really stick on that in this video. It's all about gaming, and I want you to know that this is what I'm focused on for 2026. And that's probably the last year I'll cover old school stuff in this way. So this is my last big year of investment into the old school, just so I can move on to the next part of my life without any regret at all. That's the whole point of doing all this work. There you go. Okay, yeah. Because the old school would have to drastically change in a major way with the majority of people in it online for me to keep doing content going forward. Because there's not a big payoff doing this content for them, and there won't be for 2026 no matter how hard I work. I'll work hard, but really what it's doing is getting me used to doing this. So next year, I'll be going bigger, right? I'll be doing more. I'll be getting bigger. I'll be, as far as my production and all that, but I really just want to have a good year of doing streaming in front of the camera, getting really comfortable. So next year, when I'm ready to do a lot more and production goes up, I will be comfortable, right? I just figured you can't just take something. You can't just be at the top right away. You have to put the work in. And this is me getting used to doing this stuff, so it's me putting the work in. So then I can say I went through a period of time of falling on my face, getting back up, figuring this out, do. And then when we get to the point where it's higher production with a person who has a shitload of experience behind them. I've been this way in the hobby too. I always like to put my time in and earn my respect before I say, hey, I think I deserve it now. But I got to deserve it because I put it in. A lot of people get on YouTube and they want instant success, or they want you to instantly like them. And some of it caves. Some people, I guess, are naturally good. Whatever. Me, I just think I need to earn that. I need to earn the trying to be a bigger YouTuber in this way. So the most necessary thing is being good at performing and talking. I mean, all the production means nothing if this part isn't good. So this is a year of me entertaining you, learning, and busting my ass to, earn what I want to go after in the future. Be ready for that, right? Okay, I hope all that sounds appealing to you. All right, for now, I love you. Take care.